Cast. Copy.
Have you seen any of the trailers, like the Deadpool 2 trailer? I think that's the only trailer.
I think I saw the Deadpool 2 trailer.
Okay, because that's the only. I think that's the only trailer we're talking about.
Okay. Post. Live stream. Yeah, I'll be watching it in silence while I watch it again, just because I've seen it, but I don't remember a lot of things from it.
Right. I get you. All right. Let me know when we're good to go.
Charge that. All right, show's live on Patreon. You can go ahead and start.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Charged Up podcast. Justin isn't here today, unfortunately, but I'm going to be your host for this evening. I am Ben, aka the Marvelous Iggy, and joining me tonight is my tag team partner. No, we're not talking about wrestling this time.
Damn it.
Thomas, editor-in-chief of our beloved website, chartshot.com. Thomas, welcome back once again, buddy.
It's great to be back. Always a pleasure to talk with you.
All right. So we got a pretty big stack of news. This is going to pretty lengthy show. So if you're going on, it's Easter weekend coming up. This is going to be a pretty good show to take on the road for you and listen to my annoying voice for the next, hopefully, only an hour or maybe an hour and a half. Who knows? I like to talk a lot. Speaking of talking a lot, Deadpool likes to talk a lot. And we actually got a new trailer for Deadpool 2, which is coming out May 18th, which is not that far away. It's only about 2 months away. Yeah, because I go on vacation the following week, so it'll be a nice time.
Nice.
This trailer showed a lot more, for sure. It definitely showed more. Didn't show too much. I felt like we got an idea of what the story was, but not too much was revealed. It still looks fun. The movie already sold me from the last trailer. The whole Deadpool trying to fix the CGI and just with the toys, that was great, but this was like more fun. I don't know if you saw this, Thomas, but like Gal Gadot on Twitter was like, you stole my look, because Deadpool does the whole X thing, and they were like having a fun Twitter banter back and forth. So I was like, oh, that's pretty funny. But what did you think of this trailer?
Like you said, we're getting a little bit more of the story on this one. It's great to just see like some of these characters like Cable. I was like a huge fan of him in the X-Men comics, or not the comics, but the TV show in the 90s.
Oh, he was a badass then.
Yeah, he was pretty badass there. So good to see some Cable action. I love the first movie. I have it on Blu-ray. I was hoping this would come earlier because it released somewhere in like February, and I took my dad to go see it for his birthday in March. So like, me and my dad are definitely gonna go see the second one. It's like our thing now.
Yeah. And surprisingly, normally in a movie like this, I'd be concerned about Infinity War. It's gonna get swallowed up, but Deadpool 2, I think is gonna do well enough on its own. I'm interested to see like how close it's gonna be, because it'll be about a month apart actually. So I'd imagine it's not gonna be too engulfed by it. But either way,
no.
Cable's one of my favorite X-Men characters. I love how Josh Brolin plays him, just sort of straight serious. I wish he had a bigger gun, but who knows? Maybe they're hiding that for the actual movie. Like, it's just a ridiculously big gun. But either way, not much to talk about because I don't really want to overhype the movie. I'm set. It already has my money. So not much to say about that after that. But sticking with the Marvel universe, but not
I just wanted to say one thing that really grossed me out in the thing was when he blocked the gun with his hand and it shot his hand out, and then he just turned it on, shot the guy. There was a few good pops in the movie theater. I went to go see Pacific Rim Uprising the other day, and there was people like laughing their asses off at this trailer. So
that's great. Unfortunately, the 3 movies I wanted to see in March, I didn't get a good chance to see. One of them because of a stupid asshole terrorist. But I really wish I was in a theater for like this trailer.
Yeah.
Like this is a movie I want to see in the theater, which we'll talk about in our second part, but more on that later. I like to tease, baby. I like to tease. But like I said, sticking with the Marvel side of things, we all know that if you've been following the MCU news over the past say couple of years, Chris Evans has made his intentions clear that he may not want to stick around forever. You know, doesn't want to do the same thing over and over again. Well, it looks like it's officially been confirmed that Chris Evans, aka Steve Rogers, Captain America, will not be returning to the MCU after Avengers 4, which is a shame. And this is basically what he says. You may need to start preparing yourself to think about it, Chris. Oh wait, that's not what it says. That's what the article says. Basically, he alludes to that you want to get off the train before they push you off. You know, you and I are wrestling fans. Sorry, if you're bothered by wrestling, we're gonna bring up wrestling because it's what we know. So I follow. It's sort of like I get where Chris Evans is coming from, right? You don't want to be Hulk Hogan wrestling Ric Flair in 1999 when you're 10 years past your prime. You don't want to do that. And I get where he's coming from. I totally understand it. That being said, I'm gonna miss him because I don't know about you, Thomas. Have you seen all the Captain America movies?
Oh yeah, he's Cap. He's Captain America. He's Steve Rogers.
Yeah, he embodies that character. Like I remember back to when they first announced him, and I think pretty much I said, the Human Torch, really, because he was the comedy guy at that time. You know, he was in that same people as like the American Pie dudes. He was that sort of just that type of guy you would never pick for Captain America. And I want to say at least since Winter Soldier, like he obviously was Cap in the first one, and Avengers he really asserted that role. But I wouldn't say it was with Winter Soldier that like made me go, yes, you are Captain America. And you know, even like outside of his acting, like he just seems to embody that sort of good natured spirit of Captain America.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, you know. I mean, I knew it was going to happen, you know. Like the original three were probably not going to stick around. They told their stories. They did this amazing work. Like the MCU is built on the foundations of Hemsworth, Evans, and Downey Jr. So Hemsworth's probably going to stay. Junior's probably out. I'm not surprised Evans is leaving, but I'm just a little like, dude, we would watch Captain America play in like 100 movies, and I don't think anybody would be tired of it.
I wonder do you know what he's gonna go on to do after this? Like,
I don't know, but I imagine it'd be like something smaller.
Because he seems like one of those guys that's like he's being elevated to hunk status. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he would play well in like a lot of like romantic comedies and stuff like that. Because he's just like, I just saw a tweet yesterday. It's like, even if you were remotely attracted to men, and it's like a picture. No, it's the GIF of him like ripping the wood apart.
Yeah, in Age of Ultron. I'm like, yeah. So he's a very, very handsome man.
Yeah, he'll do fine outside of Marvel, I think.
Oh, definitely. I'm interested to see what he does do next, because I think whatever he does, him being Captain America has definitely elevated his status in terms of like being in the 9. Because again, he was known before Captain America, but again, he was the rom-com guy. He was the joke guy. You know, that's what he was. Now he's
the hunk.
He's the Brad Pitt. He's currently Brad Pitt, who also is an amazing actor. Like nobody gives Brad Pitt enough credit for being a good actor.
Yeah.
But I'm sad. It was gonna happen, but you know, all good things must end.
We're expecting Captain to die this Avengers, right?
I'm hoping not. I'm kind of hoping he kind of like just get like only one I really think will die is Downey Jr. is Iron Man. That's the only one I kind of want Cap to like, you know, I think I'm done with all this craziness and like rides off into the sunset. So that way they can leave it open for him to come back. Because you know, I wouldn't imagine they would be okay with like coming back like say 5 years down the road. Hey, you want to do a cameo? Sure. I personally don't think they'll kill any of these characters off now because they're too valuable. You know. Like
they could just like write them as they're gone underground, or they're going into hiding, or he's just like, I'm retired, and then they come back to him. It's like, we need you for one last job, you know, like
exactly
that old trope.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that I think that's anything else to say more about Chris Evans sadly not coming back for Captain America.
No, he's a good dude. He seems like a good dude. All the best to him.
Exactly. He again he is you know, he's Captain America from the comics. Like it wasn't evident at first. He wasn't like Robert Downey Jr., Christopher Reeves, or even Gal Gadot. Like they were the characters the second you saw them. You didn't. I didn't. No, I don't think anybody saw that with him as Cap. But he's definitely grown into the role, and you know, I guess now we can at another point we can speculate on who's actually going to be Captain America. Is it going to be the Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes taking over like they did in the comics, or even the Falcon, who actually was Captain America for a little while too. They could go either way. But speaking of going not either way, but in a very expensive direction, I'm trying to work with the transitions people.
You're doing a good job.
I'm trying. We talked several episodes ago about that Amazon will be producing a Lord of the Rings television show, and now we've hit some numbers are coming out. Who knows how accurate these numbers are, but apparently it's going to be very expensive, and it's going to cost $500 million. Now, whoever's editing this, please put the Dr. Evil theme in there, please, because that would just be so great. Exactly. Thank you, Thomas. Oh my god, I love that. But yeah, this is a television show. That's a lot of money for a television show.
That's just for the first season, right?
I would believe so. I don't watch Game of Thrones. Do you watch Game of Thrones?
Yeah, I watch Game of Thrones. It's pretty damn good. Yeah, so it's good actually for 2 seasons. $250 million each
per season.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes much more sense. But still, that's a lot of money. I mean, Amazon has that money. You know,
I don't think the original Lord of the Ring movies were that expensive.
No, they definitely weren't. I mean, a lot of that stuff was made in like a lot of that stuff that was made in the movies were in house, like in New Zealand, so they didn't have to outsource anything. So it looked great. And it made New Zealand a very popular place to get, hey, do my special effects for me, or visual effects for me. But that's crazy. Like, I think would this be the highest budgeted television show of all time?
I would have to think so. The first Lord of the Rings movie was $93 million.
Yeah, yeah. I knew they weren't near that. I mean, I would imagine it had to be more expensive because you're. I mean, then again, Lord of the Rings, they shot principal photography for a whole year. And then, so that like from like November to like December of that year or something like that. And then they did reshoots for each of the movies. So I'd imagine it probably hit that mark at some point, when you count in reshoots, but like base photography is probably still cheaper than that. But
yeah, it's like a season. So like if like it would be, I don't know how much TV shows cost to start off with, so yeah. I'm just spitballing here. I'm just a common man with a common job. I don't know how much it costs to shoot a TV show for a season, but I can't imagine it takes this much to make a decent show.
Unless they are like planning to hire the entire Lord of the Rings movie production crew and just do this for the TV show, because like. That's the one thing that would be worried about the television show is that if you ever watch Lord of the Rings or even watch some of the special features, I don't know if you ever did, Thomas, because I used to have that shit on repeat when I was younger. They would go the amount of detail they would put into that world, and not just visual effects but practical effects too, is so astounding, and I can't imagine J.R. Tolkien's world visually another way. Like, I just can't. It's so ingrained in my mind.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings is my version of Star Wars, like the movies that changed my life in a way. But I mean, if just because you throw money at something doesn't mean it's gonna look good, be good, or anything like that.
So here's what you were talking about before with Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones per episode is $15 million. So let me just do the basic math here. Like, there's like 13 episodes per season.
Per season.
Yeah. Sometimes there's only 8. So 15. Let's just go the high route. So that'd be $195 million a season. They're spending an extra 150 million. Man, I can't imagine what this is gonna look like. I can only think. Are you sure this is not like some kind of like Russian mafia like money laundering scheme or
No,
something?
Amazon just controls everything. That's what that shit is.
I don't know. I hope the production elements are good. Like with that kind of budget, you'd have to hope that the production is at least good.
Oh, definitely. And I hope the acting is good too. You know,
Yeah.
like you better hire some amazing actors, because again, that's another thing. Because we don't at this time we don't know what story they're telling, so it's I mean I really hope they don't go anywhere near the three books because like that's
Have,
too close.
have they not said that they're gonna just do the books?
I haven't read too much of it. I remember
Oh, okay.
last time we talked about this, they were just saying they were going to do it.
Hmm.
And again, a lot of people want them to do the Silmarillion, but I think a lot of that was touching the Hobbit movies, which I have yet to see at this point.
It wouldn't surprise me if they just did the books because that's the story everyone knows.
Right. I just don't know if that's like how bad, like how much you're willing to gamble that people are going to watch it and not piss off people who love those movies, because people love those movies, and I'm one of them.
Hmm.
You know, they were the core foundation of 11 to 13-year-old me.
How is Amazon doing on the streaming front for their end? Because there's not a whole lot of options up in Canada. I really haven't even been on Amazon Prime TV or video. So how is it doing over in America?
I'm not sure, but like there's several shows on there, like, but only maybe one or two of them gets talked about. It's not like Netflix, where Netflix has a pretty healthy category of.
Well, they have that Marvel deal, so like no matter what, there's always a new Netflix Marvel TV show happening.
Right.
So I
But,
guess
like,
this is like Amazon's foray, like trying to break through and like make them a talk about town.
for streaming, because nobody
Yeah.
talks about, again, with the exception of Transparent, Transparent is the big one, was the big one, but I think it's ending soon because of the Jeffrey Tambor controversy. The current one, the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, which is one that's got a lot of Emmys and getting a lot of people talking. Another reason why I watch it. There's a couple of things, and there's a lot of original content on Amazon. It's just that a lot of it's not being talked about. So this could be, like you said, like the big gateway drug, and like here's the other stuff. Although I've seen a lot of their other stuff, and I'm like, it doesn't look interesting. It looks generic as fuck. There's no, I don't know. It doesn't appeal to me possibly, but I'm hoping it's good. As a Lord of the Rings fan, I want it to be good.
Yeah, I hope for your sake too. I probably won't watch this.
Yeah, I might just watch the original, like the extended cuts in one day. Just like fuck this. So speaking of something radically different, I don't know how that was the segue, but I'm gonna work with it.
Your segues are a lot better than mine. Usually, I'm like passed out while I'm trying to do mine.
Surprisingly, we're gonna talk about video games right now. We actually got a
Oh boy.
Yeah, we got a poster for the new Mega Man animated series.
Oh no.
Coming out.
Oh god.
Ladies and gentlemen, say it with me. Over-designed.
Does Mega Man have a neck?
No, he doesn't. It looks so awkward.
It's so weird. It's like a little skinny thing. Whenever I see a character design with a skinny neck, I'm just like, dude, how does your head hold that up? Like, your neck's gonna break.
Right.
Oh god.
So if those of you don't know, this is done by the people who made Ben 10.
Oh.
Yeah, this is the same people. I can't remember their name right now. It's channel something awesome. I know some of the writers. Like I met some of them at comic conventions. They were all comic writers before they became like this, television, or they produced stuff for television. Thomas, I'm gonna let you have this first because I'm kind of baffled.
This is my first time seeing it, and I'm just laughing my ass off, as you can tell from the beginning of this topic. I don't know what's happening in this poster. Like, it does look like a children's TV show, though. That's for damn sure. It looks like if you were to just if I didn't know who Mega Man was and I just saw this, I'm like, yeah, it's another child's TV show. Like,
yeah,
they all have that same look to it, like a very clean, pristine look that just is bland and devoid of character.
I feel you. I mean, then again, Mega Man, at least classic Mega Man, isn't really known for like its, depth, deep character. I mean, the most it goes is Dr. Wowie. That's it. That's the most you get, and it's a mockery.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, there's been a lot of Mega Man TV shows over the years.
yeah.
The
Well,
only
there
one
was.
that came close to being interesting was Battle Network.
Yeah, I never saw that one.
It was
Then
alright.
again, yeah, I only remember. I only vaguely remember the '90s one. With Goku, with Goku's voice as Mega Man. It's the same voice actor.
What?
Um, yeah, and I only clip I remember is for some reason Mega Man grabs Pharaoh Man and he goes, "Now I got your power." He says that every time, and Pharaoh Man just punches him in the face, just like, "I ain't having none of your shit, Mega Man." Uh, but this, I wanna believe it'll look better in motion, but first glance, Mega Man looks over designed for no reason.
What's to do with his eyes?
They look like, is he smirking?
Yeah, he's like, I got a dirty secret for you.
Yeah,
Come watch my show and find out.
I know. I know. Dr. Wily created Zero. Yeah, yeah, Mega Man. We've known that since 1997. We've known that. That being said, though, like if this show drops hints of like X, I'll watch it. I will legit watch it.
I have no interest.
No, same here.
Yeah,
Same here.
the only like actual like adult or like I guess just cartoon show in general is oh boy, what's that one? Horseman, BoJack Horseman is the only one I really watch because it gets down with my level of self-pity.
I get you. Yeah, because unfortunately, a lot of TV shows, cartoon, adult or kid, otherwise, like I know the big one that everybody talks about right now is Steven Universe, and I, for life of me, cannot get into that show whatsoever. Or you know, a lot of the Cartoon Network stuff. It's just like maybe I'm officially old, but I can't understand these cartoons. Why can't they be like the cartoons I watched when I was a kid? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, I feel like I often wonder, just because my parents would watch sometimes the cartoons I watch, and I wonder for them is like, man, this is absolutely awful. Why do you watch this? You know what I mean? It's just like the cycle continues.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Although I remember me and my dad watching some of the cartoons I watched, like Ed and Eddie, or you know some of the Nickelodeon stuff. Like that's actually pretty funny. So some stuff is universal, like you know Tom and Jerry is universal. You'll like get all generations.
I mean, Bugs Bunny is like the most universal enjoyed
exactly
cartoon I can think of.
Versus like there's like Woody Woodpecker. Like only if you're a certain age group are you gonna actually enjoy Woody Woodpecker.
Yeah, I was super into Woody Woodpecker when I was a kid.
Oh God, really?
Yeah.
Even as a kid, I hated Woody Woodpecker.
I liked how I don't know, man. I can't explain it.
Was it the laugh?
Maybe.
You know, I'll tell you why. I remember now why I hated Woody Woodpecker so much. I think there was a point like where like Cartoon Network was like doing something. I'm pretty sure it was Cartoon Network. They were like shuffling their programming or something, and like for whatever reason they played Woody Woodpecker for 24 hours. And after the fifth hour, I was like, I'm done. Like,
why would you watch it for 5 hours?
10. I was bored, man. It was Saturday, and you're 10. You don't have a lot of options.
All right.
So yeah, Woody Woodpecker. Mega Man looks awful. Speaking of looking awful.
Oh, that's great.
So that I've worked on that one a little bit. So if you aren't aware, back in 2008, 9, 10. There was a lot of talks that George Miller was going to direct Justice League. In fact, this is the time I started getting into like looking up online news and rumors and stuff for superhero movies, you know. And George Miller was going to make a Justice League movie. And I remember them casting, you know, Wonder Woman. I'm thinking, wow, she's perfect. Other than realizing she's just hot. That's it. Yeah, just to let you know, this was going to be Arnie Hammer as Batman, DJ Cortana as not DJ Cortana. Was it DJ? It says DJ Cortana on the website. Adam Brody as the Flash, Santiago Cabrera as Aquaman, Megan Gale, that's who it was, as Wonder Woman, and Hugh Keys-Byrne as Marshmander, and Common as Green Lantern John Stewart. So these are their costumes. Only Megan Gale is the only one actually in the set. What do you think, Thomas? Considering we just got a Justice League movie not too long ago.
What's going on with Martian Manhunter?
I mean, the worst part about him, he looks too buff. But like it's the pants that don't look right.
He looks like he's like a swamp creature or something.
Yeah, kind of a little bit. I mean, you know, if you see like Martian Manhunter's always had kind of like a weird disfigured face. I don't think the picture does anything help. So he kind of has like a bigger cranium than most people.
This is definitely very comic booky looking. Like Superman suit for like it looks like a very rubberized suit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And same with the Flash. The Flash is like so stiff. Like I don't know if he could turn his neck in that suit.
Well, he's gonna be looking forward. He doesn't need to turn his neck.
Okay, yeah, he does.
I don't know what the fuck Batman is wearing. Like Batman just looks weird.
You know what? I've seen worse Batmans. That's all I'll say.
That's true. The only one I actually like is the Flash's costume. Aquaman's isn't too bad actually.
Aquaman works, but I like the one in the Justice League movie a hell of a lot more.
Oh, the new one, yeah.
Yeah.
Green Lantern looks like somebody went to like Target at the last second and bought a Green Lantern costume. That's what it looks like.
It does. Lazy. It totally does. Oh my god.
I'm gonna get crap for this, but this, I mean, it. You know, the energy suit from the 2011 movie was better than this. This looks boring.
It's just like black and then green. Like the lighting doesn't really help to see what else, like the details on his chest, but it kind of just looks like he's wearing some kind of green formal suit.
Yeah, I mean that's how like the in terms of like how a Green Lantern costume should look. That's Jon Stewart's costume. Even like I can't tell if he has like green armbands on, based on the picture, but I mean it. You know, it doesn't stick out enough. It looks too fake.
This looks better than Mega Man. That's all I'll say.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. But can you imagine this? This is actually going to be a movie at some point.
Yeah, Hey, there's no Cyborg. What the hell?
No, remember this was at the time when Cyborg at this time was like a Cyborg being in the Justice League is only a very recent thing.
Oh, he was a Teen Titan before, right?
Right. Yeah. Oh. Like so like to me, when Justice was coming up, like, but that should be Martian Manhunter. Not Cyborg. Cyborg's all right, but like he's always.
I like Cyborg. I think I like Cyborg being in the Justice League. He seems like the most down to earth out of all of them. Like a real person out of all of them. You know what I mean?
I get you.
Yeah,
I get you. It's just my nostalgia is like, but that should be this person or this person. You should be hanging out with Nightwing and Starfire, and doing teenager things.
I'm a very casual superhero fan. You know, like I don't read the comics or anything like that, so like I know Cyborg.
No, I get you. Speaking of not cyborgs but superhero movies.
Yeah.
Here's another blast from the 1990s. The Spice Girls are reportedly making an animated superhero movie.
No, they're not.
Yeah, apparently.
No, they're not. Stop lying to me.
You tell me what I want, what I really, really want. Tell me what you want, what I really, really want. You know that song, you were born between 1987 and 1994. That's the cutoff date. That's the cutoff year. That's officially I'm deciding it. So yeah, this is interesting because I think very recently the Spice Girls tried to do a reunion.
Yeah, they had a little reunion tour going around for a while there.
And it didn't. I don't think it worked out, or like it wasn't all of them. But like, who the fuck wants a Spice Girls animated cartoon movie superhero? I don't understand.
Listen, Spice Girls, I loved your music growing up. I loved you girls growing up when I was a little boy. I'm not here. I'll listen to your songs over and over again. Currently, I watched your movie, The Spice World. I liked it when I was younger. I'm not ready to jump back into the Spice World right now.
Yeah, it's so weird. It just seems like, why are we doing this? I feel like it's trying to capture on people who like Spice Girls.
What happened to them like between 2004? That's probably even giving them too much time. And like 2014 when they came back. I don't know. I'm just going off the top of my head here. Like, were they stuck inside some kind of vortex? And then they finally escaped?
One of them married David Beckham. That's all I know about it. That's
the football player.
Yeah, the football player.
Okay.
That's the only reason I know, because I mean, after a while, you know, you just stop hearing Spice Girls music on the radio. I'm like, well, I guess they don't make music anymore, and that's it. I mean, if you wanna hear a music that like defines or like that sounds like the '90s, you listen to a Spice Girls album from the '90s. There you
Yeah,
go.
I still listen to Spice Girls to this day, and
I mean, who doesn't love "You Wanna Be My Lover"? That song is fucking classic.
yeah, I get with my friends.
Exactly. Despite
Making
that,
love forever. Friendship never ends.
yeah, the song makes no sense.
I
It's like,
love
do you
it.
want me to do with your friends? No? Okay. I guess you gotta be friends with the friends. Either way, nobody wants this. Nobody, people who like Spice Girls wants this. It's so weird. Um, but I guess the Spice Girls are back. I guess they are.
I don't know. I was just skimming the article, and they're talking about like girl power and like positive female influences, and I don't know. I guess there's like a thing for that, but they're also at the time they're very perpetuating the negative female influences.
Yeah, that's the other
So
thing.
I don't know. Like maybe they'll modernize and clean their act up to make it a little bit more inclusive.
Reboot the Spice Girls.
Yes, reboot the Spice Girls. That's what we need to do.
I mean, why not? I mean, they tried to reboot Gem and the Holograms, and that turned out to be a effing disaster.
Everything is
Um,
being rebooted these days, man. There's
yeah.
no limits.
Look, look, look. Just don't. I don't need like some young singer who's like my age sing, no, who's younger than me and singing "You Want to Be My Lover." I don't need a remix of that. Um, Although I'm pretty sure it exists.
I'm sure everything exists.
Yeah. So speaking of relics from the '90s that somehow managed to hang on, according to this, there is a Street Fighter TV series in production. Um, According to Entertainment One, they secured a deal the finest produced in television regarding Capcom's hit fighting game franchise. It's a live action 12 episode series. Oh no, wait a minute, I'm sorry. The people behind it were made the Street Fighter: The Assassin's Fist, arguably the best live adaptation of Street Fighter ever seen, and was done by fans. So that's cool. I'm a huge Street Fighter fan. People generally know that, but what do you think about a Street Fighter live action television series?
Uh, I don't know, man. Like, it says here the story is based off Street Fighter 2, the World Warrior.
Yeah,
Is that
it's
just
just
Street Fighter 2?
it's just I mean it's just a tournament like Bison. Yeah, I mean think of Street Fighter 2 as a classic '70s movie. You had the bad guy holds the world tournament. You have a whole cast of characters. Fighting ensues. You have some you get attached to maybe like one or two characters who fight for vengeance, fight for this, fight for that, and you could make that into a 12 episode.
So it's like Dragon Ball.
Yeah, but not as hopefully not as dumb. Maybe
I'd rather have it be as dumb.
probably yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, this is gonna be, where is this gonna be? Netflix?
I don't think I think the article dictates. They haven't really said anything.
Okay.
It just says that they found a production company for it.
Okay.
Um,
I don't really watch TV to begin with, other than wrestling. So,
right.
there's a good chance that I probably won't watch this. But I'm glad that they're still making Street Fighter stories and
Yeah.
TV shows and stuff.
I mean, like what I hope, honestly, like I'm a Street Fighter, diehard, right? Like you and I
Seen all the movies.
in all the movies, like I like Street Fighter.
You watch the animes.
Watched a couple animes. Actually, the '90s cartoon is on Crunchyroll right now, so you can go watch that classic.
Nice.
If you want to revisit that, but it's in Japanese though, so just get ready for that. Street Fighter, the one with John Claude Van Damme, that movie is terrible, but at least it is colorful, so it's not accurate, but it's stupid for the sake, and it's as close as you're gonna get to a Street Fighter movie back in the mid '90s. I don't know if you ever saw Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li.
No, I did not. That was around the time where I was a very movie snob, and I just wouldn't see things that I would suspect are bad. So I wouldn't seek it out.
Yeah, I did. I paid money for that movie, and it was bad.
Yeah, okay. It's
Yeah,
not
it was-
even
it
fun
was-
bad.
No, it's boring. So M Bison is he's in there, but he doesn't have any of the tapestry of M Bison. He's just a mob boss. He's played by Kenneth McDonald, I think. You might recognize him if you see him. I think that's his name. and like he takes a baby out of a woman's womb and eats the heart or something, and
you're saying this movie is boring.
It's boring as fuck. It's most part like that's like the only interesting part. It's like the last 10 minutes.
Most of the time, how do you do that and then like have the movie be boring? Like that's
because
that's a feat in itself, you know.
Because the actress who got to play Chun-Li, Kristen Kirk, was boring. Everything around it was boring. It had nothing about Street Fighter, basically. It just had Street Fighter's name out there. They did a couple moves. So what I'm hoping this is, and again, it's made by the people who did Assassin's Fist. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's really good.
This is live action, right?
Yeah, this is live action. That they incorporate, they try to make it realistic, you know, like obviously not super realistic, but incorporate the silly elements. Like I want Bison in his, you know, dictator looking outfit. I want, you know, Sagat. I want large ass E Honda with, you know, with the 1,000 hand slaps. You know, I want thick. Whoever's gonna play Chun-Li better have thick thighs. Like that's a must. Must be super thick. You know, bring all that, showcase that. You know, you can tell a serious story with crazy characters and meaningful characters. My question is, who are they going to make the main protagonist? Because Ryu is arguably the face of Street Fighter. You know, he's what defines it. Everybody knows Hadouken or Shoryuken. Yeah. But he's boring as fuck, though. That's all he wants to do is fight. Like, he doesn't really have any motivation.
That's why you have... Okay, so you have Ryu as, like, your headlining star. He's, like, the Roman Reigns. And then you have Ken, who is, like, the AJ Styles.
No, that would be Guile, though.
Okay, fine, Guile, whatever. But you know what I'm talking about. Like you have the guy that everyone's like, oh, I know that guy, and then you have like the other characters that support him and try to like, I don't know, try to make the movie a little bit better or more interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Just give me Psycho Power Bison. Give me Crazy Bison. give me all, like, don't make them look like their counterparts, but like, give me the Flash. You know, give me a lot of that.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe this will be the one.
Hopefully. It's got to happen at some point. But speaking of things not happening, apparently Donald Glover, FX, and Marvel are parting ways on the upcoming Deadpool animated series. Apparently, it was going to get a 10-episode first season. It got a 10-episode season last year. And FX decided creative differences, among other reports. According to some people, that Donald Glover schedule was full. To which, I think it was today he did it. He posted a Twitter thread saying, "My schedule is not been too busy for Deadpool the animated series," and shows a script from the cartoon. Like he's been working on this. Huh. So something happened to where I love that Donald Glover throwed shade that whoever the fuck did that. So there's no, as of right now, the Deadpool animated series is up in the air, which is kind of interesting because, you know, Deadpool is a pretty hot commodity right now, you know?
Yeah.
How do you, any thoughts about this?
I don't know. I think you could have a lot of fun with an animated Deadpool. And that, I was going to say that you can't have in live action, but they did a really damn good job with the live action stuff. But there's a lot more that you could do with animated Deadpool. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah. So it's a shame that it didn't come to pass, and that's crazy that Donald Glover is the one that's like writing it.
Well, not like like I said, not anymore. Like they've all part ways.
Yeah, so I know, but it was crazy that he was involved because I only know him from Community, and he does. He's also like, he's more of a famous rap artist in my mind, anyways, than an actor or a writer.
Yeah. Well, it looks like, I mean, if you go read the script, because it was legitimate, like, you had me like laughing. I'm like, this should have been made. Why wasn't this made? Damn it.
I don't know. Maybe someone will see it and be like, damn, this is good. Maybe we should jump on it. But who knows?
Somebody's gonna jump on that. Like, something happened between FX, Marvel, and, you know, them. I'm willing to bet it's Marvel because Marvel is notorious for trying to control their shit. If you don't.
Yeah.
Just go read out what they tried to do with Capcom. I'm just gonna say that because that's.
Oh yeah. Didn't Capcom? Who put that out there? Was that Capcom that just like said, "Hey, Disney"?
Websites reported that, and then like people who worked on the game reported that as well. So that
crazy.
We can't have our characters getting their asses kicked. Sort of something like that. But speaking of things actually happening, if you haven't heard, Netflix is developing a live-action Carmen Sandiego movie, which is interesting. Apparently, it will star Jane the Virgin's Gina Rodriguez. And it's going to be. I just think she was in Ferdinand. I didn't see that movie.
She's in Annihilation. I haven't seen that one yet, but I've heard
that's
really
right,
damn good
yes.
things.
And that's what I hear. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the animated series will debut. There's gonna be an animated series that's gonna explore the origins of Carmen Sandiego, and then the movie will happen. The movie has yet to be announced, so that's interesting. It's an animated series in the movie. Did you ever play the Carmen Sandiego games? Because I know there were games.
So my only I don't think I've played the games, but I have watched the game show when I was a kid. You know the game show?
No, I only remember the animated cartoon show on Fox. I don't know what it was in Canada, but I don't remember the animated series.
Yeah, I think I might have watched a couple episodes of the animated series, but the game show was like super prominent here. So I always thought Carmen Sandiego was a game show. It wasn't anything else. And then so when I learned about there was like a game, and then it became a TV show and like all this other stuff, like I was like, whoa, like Carmen Sandiego is a bigger deal than I thought. Yeah, I thought it was just a game show for kids that like teaches people geography.
Same here.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember watching it. I don't remember much about it except like she wasn't the main character. They were just chasing her. So, like that's always what weirded me about it. But I always loved her design though. Just the big floppy red hat and the trench coat.
I feel like so she's like a bad guy, right? I always thought she was a good guy for some reason. And
no, she's like a thief.
Yeah, I know. And so like I always wanted to see more of Carmen. Like I always wanted to see more of her and less of like people tracking her down.
Exactly. Yeah, because that like it's kind of like I don't know if you ever saw the anime Lupin the Third. It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
Where like you're following the bad people trying to steal shit.
Mm-hmm.
But like, this is just more nostalgia being mined. That's what this is.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's good, it's good. I'll probably give it a shot. I usually give a lot of Netflix shows at least a couple episodes before I stop.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the gifs of them. that's how I consume my media these days, just Twitter gifs.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's move on to some. While certain things have been announced like Carmen Sandiego, certain things have also been pushed back or delayed. So several episodes ago, we talked about that New Mutants was being pushed. Was originally supposed to come out next month in April. It was going to be a horror movie and all that stuff. It was pushed in back 10 months. X-Men Dark Phoenix was supposed to come out in November of this year. Well, Fox has officially pushed the dates again. Originally, X-Men Dark Phoenix, the next chapter of the rebooted X-Men timeline, was supposed to release on November 2nd of this year, has now been pushed to Valentine's Day of 2019. I mean, this wasn't the only movie, along with the Freddie Mercury biopic. It got pushed back about a little over about from November 2nd to December 25th. But New Mutants was supposed to come on April. This year's moved to February 2019. New Mutants was supposed to come out in February of next year, but now that's been pushed back to August 2nd. And it's also been reported that New Mutants will be reshooting 50% of the movie. Something happened to reshoot 50% of the movie.
Yeah,
that's crazy. I think, I mean, the X-Men, the Dark Phoenix one isn't that big of a deal because it's literally what, 2 months. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if they had to maybe like reshoot a couple of scenes, work on some CGI for those big scenes. That's not that, you know, terrifying to worry about. Like, it'll happen.
Is New Mutants the movie that comes after Dark Phoenix? Is that what we're talking about?
Well, they're not connected anyway. If that's
okay. I don't know what New Mutants is.
New Mutants is basically Fox trying to experiment with more X-Men movies. So it's their way of using X-Men characters or mutant characters, but this time in a horror element.
Okay.
It was at least it's part of the overall universe, but you don't have to like watch everything with it. And like I said, that was supposed to come out April of this year. that could put it back to February of next year, and now it's coming out in August of. I've got to push back to August.
Yeah, it just says August 2nd. It doesn't have a year, so like.
Yeah, so it could be August 2026 for all we know. It'll be just like the Gambit movie. But the thing is, they've shot this movie. They released a trailer for New Mutants, so like it's out there. Maybe it didn't test well or something's going on. It's crazy to me. Like this is the most stuck in film that's been shot that I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know
why.
There had to be something that went on behind the scenes that no one knows about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently they're adding a new character.
Maybe there was a different direction. Like maybe Disney gave them the okay to use some characters or something.
Possibly, but that deal hasn't been finalized though. Like it's been thing, but it hasn't been like sent through.
Yeah.
Like, that wouldn't affect the production of this movie, unless it has and we don't know about it.
Yeah, it's probably, I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, but the Dark Phoenix saga stuff, that's only a couple months. You know, that's not that big of a deal. I could see why that happened. You know, maybe they saw that, they can make more money from Dark Phoenix in February than they could in November, because typically holiday season comes around, you have a whole bunch of movies competing with you.
Yeah, like they switched between the two movies, the Freddie Mercury biopic and the Dark Phoenix movie. It sounds like they kind of just swapped places. No?
No, Freddie Mercury moved from November to December to Christmas Day. That's what happened.
No, it says Freddie Mercury biopic Bohemian Rhapsody will now release on November 2nd date instead of December 25th.
Oh, so that's probably what happened. Okay,
yeah.
I misread that wrong.
I don't know. Maybe it was just because like that's how scheduling works. They figured maybe the Bohemian Rhapsody will do better in November for some reason.
Well, that is the month that Freddie Mercury died. It would be the 28th anniversary.
So that makes sense. Like that. Yeah. That would explain why.
That could be why. I mean, maybe they're not thinking about this much, but I think that's the only reason I could believe why. But,
okay.
So going back to the world of sticking to the world of comic books, Hulu has passed on the Lock and Key TV series. If you don't know, Lock and Key is a comic book published by IDW. It's a horror comic book written by Joe Hill. And I have the freaking book right over here and I can't reach it. It's been talked about this making a show for years and nothing's happening. I didn't even know it was on Hulu, but apparently Hulu's passed. Apparently Fox passed that on 2011. Apparently it was being made. It was going to be developed for a TV series by Doctor Strange director Scott Derrickson. I don't really know much about this. I thought this went away a long time ago.
Yeah, I've always heard good things about Lock and Key. I put it on my list to read, but I've never gotten around to it. Hulu doesn't exist in Canada, so I don't care about Hulu.
So now you can watch it if it's somewhere else.
It would just be a different distributor, I would assume. What's the part where it says there's like still hope for it?
Stupid website won't load.
Show's producers still may be shopping the series around to other streaming services such as Netflix and Apple. So they're still looking for someone for distribution. So is this like so I guess the pilot's produced.
Yeah, they're just kind of trying to see which streaming service is going to pick it up.
All right, cool. All right, gotcha.
So, but hopefully Netflix picks it up because I've only read the first volume of it and I thought it was really, really good. I don't read a lot of horror comics, so
I don't read comics, so well, I do, but not really. You know what I mean?
But this is a good horror.
Yeah, I've heard good things.
Yeah. I need to finish. I mean, the series has been over for quite some time. I really should read that. Mm-hmm. But let's close out the show with one last bit of news. Sticking somewhat in the comics, particularly with the star. Robert Downey Jr. has revealed the star-studded voice cast of Dr. Dolittle. And boy, is the star-studded cast. We have Emma Thompson playing a parrot, Rami Malek playing a gorilla, Craig Robinson playing a mouse, Carmen Ejogo, I apologize for butchering that name, playing a lioness, Octavia Spencer playing a duck, Tom Holland playing a dog, Ralph Fiennes a tiger, Marion Cotillard a fox, Kumalijin, I'm so sorry, Kumanil Nanjiani playing an ostrich, Selena Gomez playing a giraffe, Francis de la Torre, Ginkgo who, what the fuck is that? The fuck is a ginkgo who soars? I don't know.
That's probably like a joke animal in the movie.
Probably. And then John Cena playing a polar bear named Yoshi. And of course, Robert Downey Jr. playing the titular character of Dr. Dolittle. That's a pretty good list amount of actors playing random ass animals.
Yeah, that's a lot of stars. Looking at this picture, I kind of see Robert Downey Jr. as oh man, what's that doctor show with like
House?
Yeah, he looks like House, doesn't he?
A little bit.
With the hair?
A little bit, I can see that.
So like, I kind of just want to have like Hugh Laurie like play this role now.
Play Dr. Dolittle?
Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
I'm just curious of like, cause did you ever see the previous Dr. Dolittle movies with Eddie Murphy?
Not really. Like they were on when like, you know, the thing in school where it's like, we're just gonna screw around day, like this movie's playing. Right. It was like Dr. Dolittle. I would never care.
Because I don't remember any of the. I mean, again, I haven't seen him in years, so I don't remember any of the.
I remember there was like a cabin, and like he was with his family. This is probably the second movie, and he's trying to like not act crazy in front of his family while forest animals were hurt.
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't know. This is like vague regulations from like 18 years ago.
Years,
like,
pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it'll be funny because it should be a fun time at the movies. Robert Downey Jr. does a great job of instilling his own charisma. I'm hoping there's a Spider-Man reference between him and Tom Holland as the dog, like some kind of Spider-Man joke, just to put it in there, just for my sake.
It's like Tom Holland's watching Spider-Man, and
well, the dog would be watching Spider-Man. Like that would be funny.
Yeah, that's kind of what I meant.
Oh, my bad. I wonder how much voice time John Cena is actually going to get as a polar bear, because that just seems funny. Because I'm kind of hoping the opening gag is like they're in a winter complex and you can't see him at first. It's like, where's the polar bear?
I saw this coming. I couldn't stop.
I want that. Movie writers, put that in there. I will see Dr. Dolittle 10 times in the theater if you make that joke.
He's just like, while Doolittle's like looking for him, he's like, "You can't see me."
Oh, it's just exactly. No, he doesn't even say that. It's just like they're in the exhibit for polar bears, and you're there. He's like, "Where is he? I don't see him," and he just pops out. Like, just do that. It's such a stupid joke, but oh my god, they're gonna know it's John Cena, and kids love John Cena. Well, maybe not, but
no, kids love John Cena. What are you talking about?
That's true. Kids love John Cena.
It's the Bullet Club shirt wearing assholes that don't like him. Oh wait, exactly. Hang on.
People who are listening to audio, this will like, what the fuck is what?
I'm wearing a Bullet Club shirt.
There you go. All right. Well, I think that's gonna do it for the news section of Charged Up. Thomas, to quote Justin, plug your crap.
Our crap is this crap, and it's on chargedshot.com. You can go there for all our podcasts, videos, and written articles. You can also follow me on Twitter if you want. It's CSG Thomas on Twitter. Yeah, there you go.
All right. And, of course, if you want to follow me, you can go to twitter.com/MarvelousIggy for all things concerning the Marvelous One. Sonic Mania, the first 2 parts of it are officially up. The first 3 parts will be up. So go enjoy that and watch me gush over a very good Sonic the Hedgehog video game. But besides that, I was wondering, how the fuck does Justin end the show? Have a good night, everybody. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye. All right, I'm gonna close my audio, I guess. Stop and save.
Yeah, because Justin likes to do 2 separate.
I don't know if he's gonna edit this or not. I think I might be, but we'll do it.
Okay, I'm just saving it real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks about his computer.
Yeah, I would hate to have that happen.
Yeah. I had
So I
that
just got
happen
me.
once, and I just ran out and bought a laptop for like $800 or something.
Yeah.
Because I'm an idiot. I was
And
thinking of
then,
return, like, because you can just return something within 30 days. I thought about
mm-hmm.
returning it, but I was like, you know what? It'd be useful to have a laptop lying around.
No, I get you.
Yeah, so I think this is saved now.
All right,
I'll just save it again.
All right, opening up again now. So you're gonna talk about the movies.
Yeah, going to the movies sucks. I hate it.
There's an article. I'll go ahead and post it because that's the reason why I wanted to talk about it. Like, there's an article like why you should go to the movies by yourself more. James Gunn retweeted it. I know James Gunn retweeted it, so that's why I wanted to talk about it.
Liz, I'll reminisce about the good old days when I went to movie theaters by myself.
I still do that. Also, I've learned that on Twitter you don't have to choose their gifs. You can search things and it'll bring.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No, because like somebody figured it out. Hey, if you type in arcade, and I did that. I'm like, well, what if? So like, I was just like, well, what if I do this, or what if I like? Oh my god, I found all these things.
I am looking for very obscure stuff sometimes. So whenever I search for something, it's like, oh, this should really be the #1 hit for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some wrestling stuff is like that. I'm like, oh, come on. Like, wrestling is made for gifts.
Exactly. All right. I am recording now.
Yeah, same here.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the discussion part of Charged Up. So this one's going to be kind of a combined topic, but before we get into that, I'm your host, Ben, aka The Marvelous Iggy. Joining me for this one is our editor-in-chief, Thomas. Thomas, welcome back once again, buddy.
Going to the movies sucks.
Speaking, yes, as antisocial as it sounds, I don't know why I said that. We're going to talk about going to the movies, our experiences at movies. And the reason I'm talking about that is because FilmRejects.com put an opinion article saying you should probably go to the movies by yourself. I advise you all to read it. I'm not going to go over it. And sort of, this was kind of done to the last minute just to give you a little behind the back door kind of thing, behind the scenes. And we wanted something fun to talk about, so I figured let's talk about our movie-going experiences. Because I'm the complete opposite of Thomas, where I think like going to the movies is like an event and like it's a fun thing to look forward to. And you do everything there. But I want to ask you first, Thomas, why don't you like going to the movies?
So back when I was a child, I used to love going to movies by myself. Like during summer break, I was instead of going to my volunteer responsibilities, because in Canada you have to have 50 hours of community service in order to graduate from high school.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe that's why we're all nice up here, because we do volunteer service. It's mandatory. But yeah, like I used to just like every Tuesday I just go for a matinee, or like once a week I'd go to a matinee and watch a movie by myself, and it was awesome because there's like I was 16 or 15, 14 at the time. I just go by myself, have freedom, screw around, go to the arcade, play little games, watch a really cool movie. This is when I really liked The Island, because it was one of the first movies I saw by myself, and like that, like certain movies stick with me because I watched it by myself, and I don't do that a lot now in movie theaters. But as I've since I've grown older, goddamn words, I just find there's a lot more annoyances now. Like I'm just more aware of other people around me, and it's kind of just like having to deal with people. There was a couple of people, like I went to go see Pacific Rim Uprising in a movie theater yesterday, and I paid for the really expensive D-box seats, and there was people sitting in our seats like when we got there, so I figured no big deal, it's kind of an empty row, I'll just sit there. And then the seats didn't turn on again, so I had to go and talk to the manager. They came in, made a whole mess of it. It's just like every time I go to the movie theater, there's always someone just being obnoxious or just ruining the experience for me. So that's probably why. And I just enjoy, like, I'm one of those assholes that likes to talk with my friends at movie theaters. I try to do it in whisper tones, not to just annoy everyone around me. And I usually go to matinees when it's like a little bit clearer. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of people around, so I don't annoy a lot of people. But I like talking with my friend about the movie. It's like, and freaking out over like really cool moments. You know what I mean? Like, I used to go to movie theaters for wrestling events. So like they would show like WrestleMania, and I'd go, and it was like a huge event where everyone's like just marking out and going crazy, and I really enjoyed that. I really enjoy the live theater aspects of things rather than sitting in a movie and having to be quiet. I like being more energetic when I watch a movie.
Not fair. I mean, I think I'm the opposite, but I don't think you're wrong in that you want to revel, because like I know when I saw the last time I experienced this, when I saw Avengers 1, like that's the one I remember the most, because it was like the whole theater was just buzzing with electricity, and it's fun to be a part of that, you know, that with that many people around and you're all enjoying the same thing. But at the same time, like in a similar situation to you, but not really. I remember seeing Last Jedi when it came out that following Monday. So it wasn't, you know, weekend release, but it was still pretty packed. And we got the nice not the IMAX theater, but it was like Dolby screen, Dolby surround sound, the seats would move and everything like that. And for whatever reason, the couple next to me would just talk about everything in the movie. And I was like, okay, maybe they'll stop. Maybe they'll stop. And I don't ever like to shush people, but like I saw it with a friend of mine, and like she knows, like, you don't, like, I'm sorry, Thomas, but like you don't talk during the movie. Like, like me and when I go see a movie with my dad, the most we'll do to each other, like we'll tap each other on the shoulder so we're not like, you can't hear that, and we'll like shake excitedly about something, but we won't go, that was cool. We won't, or like if we laugh, obviously we're gonna laugh, but we don't verbalize anything any worse. But like these assholes, and they're assholes, were, you know, talking, and I had to go shh, and then they kept doing it. I went shh, and I looked at them, and they looked at me like I was crazy. I'm like, I have to look at them, and I whispered, don't talk during the movie, and they stopped. In that sense, I can get why, because, you know, people like turn on their, like a lot more people seem to be open to the policy that, you know, hey, I can have my phone on here. I'm like, that's distracting as fuck. Don't do that. They tell you not to do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, there's like, that doesn't really happen all that often whenever I go. And
you're lucky.
Yeah, it happens like once or twice throughout a screening, maybe, because, you know, like everyone's addicted to smartphones now, and I can't blame them, because I have that addiction as well. I generally don't check my phone during movies, but if it's a really awful movie, I'll check my phone. I don't give a fuck. My movie going etiquette is absolutely horrendous, and it's because I just don't like going to movie theaters. And I go because like my friend wants to go watch a movie and like hang out with me. That's why I go. I like I said, I like spending time with my friends, and the way I do that is I don't treat it as my living room, because I pay for like expensive seats, so I don't put my feet up or anything like that. I have lots of leg room, lots of like comfort around me. But I don't know, if I'm watching a movie in my living room and I could talk to my friends like about what's going on, just like, hey, this is some stupid shit, or like stuff like that. Like I really enjoy that aspect to watching movies. I don't know what it is. I'm a little bit more sociable when a movie is on, because I could talk about something. I don't see my friends a whole lot, so like it gives me a reason to talk to them. When like I went to go see Tomb Raider this past week, or like I guess a couple weeks ago. There was some like really stupid shit happening, and we would just like talk about, it's like, why the fuck is she doing this? Like, what the hell's like? And then, I don't know. We're just very talkative during movies. I don't know what like. I try not to go to movie theaters for that reason sometimes.
Well, at least you're respectable at that.
Yeah, and I do, like I said, I do it in whispers. I don't want to annoy people around me.
Yeah, as long as people can't hear you, I guess it's all right. But like, if you're active, like where people can hear you next to you, like that's one thing. Yeah. Although I do think it's interesting, because like I think a lot of people don't go to the movies by themselves, is because there's at least in America, I don't know how it is in Canada, but at least in America, there's still a social stigma to that. Like, I will get weird ass looks from people when I go see a movie by myself, and I go to the same movie theater. Yeah, so I don't think there's like that here. And when I was a kid, maybe it was a little bit different at that time. Like, it's like, oh, that's weird. Like, this kid's just going to see a movie by himself. And he's got no friends around him or anything. And I really did enjoy those times when I was a child watching
movies by myself. If they like, listen, if they made a theater that was open and people could talk during it, I would probably pay to go to that one, just so I could like talk with my friend and hang out while watching a movie. That's why I'm liking this stuff where movies are coming to Netflix and movies are coming to streaming services and stuff. Like I have an Android TV. I've talked about that before. Like I like just having it. Like I'd rather use that and watch some bootleg footage from like Saudi Arabia or something. I don't know why I picked Saudi Arabia, but like, and watch that with my dad, then go to a movie theater and watch it with him. I don't know.
No, I get you. Like, I guess to me, like, it's not like I don't like going to the movies with people, because like I love going to the movies with my dad. Like, my dad is the only person I don't mind going to the movies with. My brother, older brother, and I never had that connection going to the movies together. My younger brother annoys the fuck out of me when we go to the movies because we always end up arguing about something stupid. But my dad is always just like we kind of turn into dude bros at the end of the movie. When it's a cool movie, we're like, that was awesome, yeah. Oh, did you see that? I remember that part. We're kind of like that. Like, yeah. We're not like loud about it because you don't want to spoil the movie for anybody, but we're like that. Like, we're very much like playing off each other. So like, I only see movies that I want to talk to him about it afterwards, like the big comic book movies or big action movies.
Yeah,
you know, like I remember it was so much fun talking to him after we saw Thor, Avengers, all that stuff. Like, we all saw it together. Not Captain America, because he was out of town that weekend. But like, that was fun to see. Or like, you know, I think the last time we actually saw the movie together was Civil War. You know, like we did a whole day thing, and then we went down to the theater, got to like just talk about it. I actually had seen Civil War the day before, so I had to like hold my excitement in to like not spoil anything, which is the fun part. But like, at the same time, like, you know, I was going to see Tomb Raider, and I was fine with seeing Tomb Raider by myself. Like, as much as I love Tomb Raider, and my dad loves Tomb Raider, you know, he's got, you know, newborn baby bro, little boy to take care of, my baby brother. So he can't exactly like at drop of a dime, like, hey, you want to go to a movie with me, you know?
Yeah.
So, and like, most of my friends have kids of their own. My older brother has kids. My younger brother lives in San Antonio. So it's kind of like, should I deny myself the pleasure of seeing a movie, you know, just because other people don't want to see, you know, like I felt a little awkward when I saw Black Panther, because Black Panther was the most packed I've seen a movie in a long time that wasn't a summer release.
Yeah.
And like, I was the only person. I'm like, they're probably thinking I'm the crazy one's going to shoot at the place, aren't I? Like, it looked like it. I kept getting looks. But you know, but once I sat down and watched the movie, like, it all disappeared. Like, I'm here. I'm enjoying my popcorn.
I like movie theaters when there's no one there, because it feels like this shouldn't be happening. This is odd. There's usually millions of people here. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It feels like you're on you're trespassing almost. Like, you're in a place where you shouldn't be, and it feels kind of magical. I don't know if that makes any sense to you at all or not, but that's how it feels to me.
I get it, because like, I remember I've seen a couple movies like by myself, like, where nobody was there. I'm like, wait, really? No, because it was like, you know, I only see movies on like weekend releases with my dad, and that's because I managed to get off work. But most of the time I'm working, so whenever I see a movie, it's on a Monday. So for unless it's like during the summer, like say, it's not normally packed. You know, it has to be a holiday for it to be packed. And you know, even like a big budget superhero movie, maybe get like 4 other people in the theater. So like, when I'll get there, like, even then, like, I'll like be reserved. Like, well, somebody's gonna be here, and I don't want to interrupt their movie experience.
But when you have the theater to yourself, you're like, oh yeah, I got all this space. You know, like, I can do whatever the hell I want. Like,
a little bit, but I don't think it's ever happened. Like, the most I do is I stretch my legs out, and that's it. So I don't have to worry about people walking back between the aisles.
When I was a child, I was fucking stupid. So whenever I got a movie theater to myself, I would sometimes just like run between the aisles just because I could. Wow. And just like run down to like the screen and like look at it, and like, I don't know, I was a stupid kid. So like, whenever I had an empty theater to myself, it was like, I have this giant room with like this giant screen and speakers everywhere, all to myself for the next 2 hours. This is gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I get it, but
Yeah.
it do you think, because speaking of movie theaters, because like there's always talks about, you know, movie theaters doing worse and worse every year, and less the attendance is worse and worse every year because of namely they want to blame millennials because millennials don't go to the movie theaters, which is bullshit because I'm a millennial and I go to fucking movie theater. I just don't go to enough. Like
they know it's the streaming services. Come on.
Yeah,
They know.
it's hard to compete with something like that. Like
okay, so we have like a mega chain up where we live. It's all owned by Cineplex in Canada. There's very like there's small theaters here and there, but they're not really known. It's mostly just Cineplex owns everything. But they started doing their own like buying online service. Like there's a thing where you can buy a ticket and then pay a little bit extra and you own the movie, a digital copy.
That's crazy. That's nuts.
I never buy it because I never know if I want it or not. But so you can kind of just get, I don't know the price difference. Maybe it's like $10, but you can get a ticket to go see the movie and then also just own the movie. So you could probably you could buy someone else's ticket, like give it to them, and if you just want to wait for the home release, you can.
Right. Yeah. That's very interesting. I mean, I also think that it's expensive to go to the movies. Like the average movie ticket is $12 in some cases, $15 depending on what part of America.
I think here it's maybe like $12.50 maybe for a regular seat, but I don't ever get the regular seats. I always get D-Box just because if I'm going to a movie theater, I don't want a regular seat.
Right.
And that's usually like $20 for one, which is really expensive, but
exactly.
I think it's worth it, honestly. If I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna treat myself right.
Yeah, you don't want to, sit in and this is a thing me and my dad have, and it annoys my brothers. Well, at least not so much anymore because we don't really get to see movies together anymore. But when we were younger, it would annoy my brother so much. Where like my dad and I would want to show up an hour early and always ask the clerk, "Okay, is this the bigger monitor? Which is the bigger screen?" We'd always do the bigger screen regardless of the time. Time didn't matter to my dad. It was always a matter of the screen and how big the screen was. And I wish I did that more often, but I just I'm here. I might as well just watch it.
I always thought the screens were the same, except for like we have Ultra AVX. I don't know if that's what you have down there.
No, I don't know. Depending certain theaters, like my dad will not go to certain theaters because he doesn't like how the seats are, how screens are. He knows he's been to so many of these theaters that haven't changed, to where I know this screen is this big. Like depending on, or rather it's not the screen size, but rather it's how big the seating is, and therefore the screen's going to be bigger.
Oh yeah.
So
okay.
he'll always want that screen, preferably.
Sure.
I remember I saw Power Rangers, the reboot one, in a small ass theater. It was basically a home theater. That's what I saw it in.
Yeah.
And I wish I didn't, because it kind of ruined the experience of seeing giant robots on the big screen, right? But
yeah, they have those in VIP. They call them VIP areas. They have them mostly in downtown Toronto. They don't really have them up here, but those are for private functions. They're not really meant for general admission.
Right.
Yeah. And I would always feel ripped off because I didn't understand the difference when I was younger. So I was just like, "Oh, this is in a really small theater. There's 5 seats here. What's going on?"
Exactly. Yeah.
You ever since you live in Austin, I don't know if I want to give that away or not, but do you go to well, what's that theater that
Alamo?
Everyone talks about the Alamo.
No, I don't.
It's too expensive.
Well, but my dad, it's too expensive, and that's the one I'd be awkward about going to by myself. If truth be told.
Yeah, it's more of a dinner and a movie. It's
exactly.
they serve you food while you watch a movie. That's pretty much what.
And I already feel like a sad piece of shit when I'm eating food by myself anyway. So I don't need to feel like a sad piece of shit while eating food and watching a movie by myself in a place surrounded by people. Because there's several in Austin I can go to. Because
the Alamo has the thing that you're looking for, where if people talk, you can put up a card and it'll wave people, and you can get people kicked out for being on their phone and stuff like that.
Yeah, I realize it's just that I just feel too self-conscious. Even my dad won't go to it because there's a theater south of Austin's another town over that's like very nice, and like he likes going there. So, but we've never been Alamo people. Like everybody who lives outside of Austin who are film buffs, they call me crazy. Why don't you go to the Alamo? Because I don't like going there. Like I don't want to spend that much money when I go to the movies. Like I just give me my popcorn and a soda and I'll be all set. You know,
Yeah.
if I'm hungry, I go to the mall, and like I usually go to the one that's at the mall. So if I'm hungry, I'll just go grab Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, oh man, I love mall theaters. It was like my main theater that I used to go to was in the Woodbine Center, and it was a mall theater. It was a Rainbow Cinema, and that's the one that like would have matinees and like $4 Tuesdays and like stuff like that. So it was awesome. I can still like think in my mind of how that place looked, and the popcorn smell, and like the shakers, and how the theaters were set up. Like it was like my theater, you know. I wouldn't go anywhere else.
No, same here.
Yeah.
I mean, for a time there was the theater that me and my parents and I would only go to exclusively. But like me being the rebel, this is the way of me being a rebel when I was younger. Is like, I'm not gonna go to that theater. You said not gonna do this one. Well, I'm gonna go to this one. And then I were like, after the movie, I was like, I shouldn't have watched the movie here. Should have gone there. Damn it.
Yeah. I kind of wish we had a mall theater where we are now, like just the cheap Rainbow Cinemas. Just I don't know, like I used to like it's like a hot spot, you know, like you hang out with your friends and you go check out some of the video game stores or the clothing stores and check out some stuff, and then go to the arcade a little bit, play a couple games, and then go into the movies.
Yeah.
It was a thing.
Sadly, that's not the case with my mall. The mall I go to, it's literally all clothing stores. It's like to the point where like I don't feel rich enough to be here. Like I'm too poor. Like so, I'll just go to the food court, eat my food, or like go to the movies, get the popcorn, and then afterwards I'm hungry, and then just go grab some food at the court.
Yeah.
And pay the extra premium.
Yeah. There's a couple of things happening with our mall. We're just gonna talk about malls real quick. But like the mall that's near where I live, it's kind of like a place that people come to. It's like an attraction for our city. So so we had a Target that's gone. That's going to be replaced by a fish market now for some reason.
Weird.
In a mall. What?
Fish mall?
It's a fish mall. It's going to smell like fish.
Finding Nemo 3 fish mall.
he's in a mall. And then now the Toys R Us is gone. So, or not, it's not gone yet, but it's going to go because, you know, Toys R Us is done. There was some hope in Canada, but, you know, as always, it's going to be gone. And then Sears, like another big box store, that's going to be gone. So there's going to be all these big spaces that's going to be empty. And I think like a small time movie theater might do well there. So I don't know. Like it's kind of like my wish.
There's movie theaters everywhere. Yeah, let me ask you this though. Continuing movie theaters, were you a frequent goer of midnight showings? Have you ever done a midnight showing?
No, dude, I can barely stay up at 9. Like when we start the games cast, like at 9 o'clock, I can't stay up.
Well, when you're younger, maybe not necessarily now. But
no, like, I don't know. Like we had a bedtime and a curfew and stuff like that where I live. So
now I can more understand. My dad was the cool dad. Because the first time I remember going to a midnight premiere, was we weren't going to do it originally because revolving around Lord of the Rings. Surprisingly, it was for Return of the King, at the time the biggest event of my life. And I didn't know when we were going to see it, if we were going to see it that Sunday after church or whenever, or if we were going to have to wait till Christmas because it came out during the holidays. But so like my mom had won tickets to like a screen to like the opening night at a movie theater that my dad and I really like to go to, and you didn't tell me, obviously wanted to keep it surprise. So I come home, it's like, hey Ben, I hope you or son, whatever, I can't remember what my mom called me at this point. It's been almost 15 years. And he goes, guess where you need to go lie down right now. It's like, why? What did I do? Thinking I was in trouble. Well, you and your dad are gonna go see Lord of the Rings tonight, and like I had the biggest light up in my face. But you still have to go to school tomorrow, so The movie started at like midnight. Like that. This was before like they started showing movies at like 10 o'clock. On Thursday nights. That
Yeah,
would be the first
I've
showing.
been to one of those. Like I went to one of those with a friend of mine for Lord of the Rings in an IMAX,
Yeah.
and that I don't remember that place being that packed. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, this was back then where literally the first showing was midnight, 12 a.m. So it's like because they couldn't legally show the movie until that Friday, and that'd be midnight. So like, I distinctly remember going to sleep, getting it like so that way I don't feel drowsy when the movie started, and then getting up like around like 8 o'clock at night, driving to the movie theater because it was pretty decent drive. At least it felt like it back then, and then like getting out at like 3:34 in the morning and then having to go to school the next day and tell my friends I saw Return of the King. It was awesome. Go see it. And so like that was the only time I would ever like my mom would never be was never that kind of person. She was not a movie person.
Did they have anything special there going on? Like were like people cosplaying, or was there like posters being handed out or anything like that?
If they the posters might have been handed out, but I don't remember people cosplaying. I remember seeing people like with swords, like some replica Lord of the Rings swords, and like
Nice.
that's about it. But I don't remember anything too crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. All we had was like there was just posters lying on a desk somewhere, and no one told anyone. It's like here, it's a free poster. You can take it if you want. So we're kind of just like me and my friend were just kind of looking at the poster. We're like, can we take this? Like, yeah, we went to go ask someone before we took it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I always think the free shit the movie theater gives you. They should do more of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. They're too busy trying to gouge you for popcorn prices.
Yeah, and I'll gladly pay it because popcorn is necessary when you go to the movies, man. Popcorn is absolutely necessary.
I wish I could still eat popcorn.
Oh yeah. I probably shouldn't, honestly, but like, I'm gonna die anyway, so fuck it. Let me go down in a blaze of glory.
This is ever since I started my new diet. Like every time people are eating really good stuff, I'm just so depressed. I'm like, that could be me. I could be having fun eating popcorn.
Sad Thomas.
Yeah, popcorn's necessary when you go to a movie theater, unless you're on a diet.
Yeah, unless you're on a diet, obviously. But like, like don't buy anything else. Like the movie theater the one I go to the mall, like they started making like chicken fingers and like fries. I'm like that. No, stop.
Oh, I love that stuff too. Like I don't care. Like sometimes I won't have popcorn. I'll have Actually, my first time I ever had a pulled pork poutine was at a movie theater, and it was amazing.
Really?
Because it's actually like, it tasted damn good. It was the first time I ever had it. So, I don't know.
Wow.
Like they do a good job where we are for movie theater food. That's not popcorn.
Yeah, I get you. I think the most thing I've ever had, like outside of popcorn, is like a hot dog. Because I like maybe I think I had nachos like once. But I think I spilled some on me, and my dad's like,
Aww.
never again.
Aww.
So we never bought nachos again. It was just popcorn only.
Yeah, I used to get nachos too. One time I was on a date with some girl. I don't remember her name anymore. But back when I first started university, we went to a movie theater, and we're both just awful people, I guess, because we ordered a pizza and took the pizza into the movie theater with us.
Wow.
We ordered the pizza at the movie theater because they have I don't know if they have this down where you live, but they have pizza in the movie theater, and it's just a pizza. That's just a pizza chain, and a lot of people hate it because it's
called pizza.
Yeah, it's called pizza.
Is there a caveman? Is the caveman a mascot?
No, that you're thinking of oh man, was it Little Caesars, right?
Yeah, only reason because like that's what in the old cartoon, in the old ads, like that's what the caveman would say. Here you go, pizza. So like I thought that was like a spin-off or something.
No, it's a I think it's probably a Canadian chain.
Okay.
But yeah, like they just had a pizza in the movie theater, and we ordered like a large pizza, just brought it in the theater with us because they're like, yeah, you bought it here, might as well take it in. It was for Horrible Bosses. That's what we went to go see.
See, I think the only time we snuck food in was with my mom, because my mom was like, I ain't gonna pay all that shit for y'all. So I think we like And I don't
Yeah.
know how. I don't think they
It's
could really
usually the moms, right? Like
Yeah.
they're like, that's too expensive. You can just microwave your own popcorn and bring it in. And it's like, okay, yeah.
No, here's what's crazy. I'm pretty sure it was my mom. I'm pretty sure we brought McDonald's in at one point. I
Nice.
don't know how the fuck they didn't smell it, or maybe they didn't care. You know, like just,
Yeah.
most of the time I don't give a shit. As long as
Yeah.
you're not trying to record the movie and do something hurtful, like I don't care what you do.
Yeah.
But like that was the only time we that I can remember.
So
At least with them.
so another I have a friend that's like super into just bringing your own food and your own drinks to the movie theater because he's not gonna pay like ridiculous amount of money for food. He just buys popcorn because popcorn's popcorn. He started putting chili flakes in his popcorn.
What?
Yeah, like there's like chili flake sprinkles at the condiment desk, and he starts putting that in his popcorn now. I guess it's like it'll give it a little spice. But yeah, that's weird.
That is weird.
I can't stand behind him. I'm sorry.
That's yeah.
But one time I used to smuggle in stuff like McDonald's and Burger King. One time I smuggled in Popeyes. So I was just eating chicken while watching the movie.
Wow.
Fried chicken.
That sounds good. I mean, like I guess maybe that's why like places like Alamo and like all these premiere like so you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Like we'll get you the fried shit here or whatever you want here.
Yeah, that's true. The only time I ever had a place kind of like that where the Alamo was the VIP area, like I said, and in that one you can actually like buzz people to come and like get your orders and stuff. It was super cool.
That's crazy. I feel like that's too much power one man should have while at a movie theater.
There's also a bar there, so you could just order drinks and have them serve you. Like it's pretty cool, but yeah, like you would take a date there to impress someone for a VIP experience like that. Do you have any other fun movie stories?
No, other than that, it's not really. Other than I'm now remembering that I didn't see The Dark Knight with my dad because again, with the comic movies, I saw it with my mom.
Oh,
But that's like the one movie like we saw together because like again, my mom's not a movie person. We would see it as a family, but it was never like a thing me and her did one-on-one. So like for whatever reason, I don't like we saw The Dark Knight together. And it was amazing. Like we couldn't stop talking about it after the movie ended. That's how good that movie was. Or it still is.
What was the last movie you saw with your family, like your family members together? Like in the movie theater.
In the movie theater.
Yeah, because while you're remembering, I'll tell you mine. It was the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Oh, like mom, dad, and everything like that.
Yeah, like my mom, dad, and my sister. We went to go see Indiana Jones: Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And that was that's the last time we've ever seen a movie together in a theater.
Well, because I've seen movies like with my dad, but like as a original family unit.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 3.
Oh yeah.
And that night was interesting for multiple reasons. I don't want to get into, but yeah, that was the last movie I saw with my dad was 2017.
Oh boy.
So like because I can't remember why now, but like for whatever reason, like he had been wanting to hang out with me for the longest time. We just couldn't get it to work out, and I was gonna go see it. And he goes, "Well, I'm gonna go see it Monday. You want to go see it, son?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, let's go see it. I'll pay for tickets." No, I'll pay. Like my dad is the kind of guy who never takes money from me. Like every time I try to pay, like no. Like I had to like write a document saying no, I'm paying for snacks. That's it. I'm paying for this.
Lucky.
But yeah, but as a whole family, like with my brothers, and plus my mom was Spider-Man 3, but the last time I saw it with like my brothers and my dad and my dad's new wife was Civil War, Captain America: Civil War. Like my dad got tickets for all of us. And
yeah. Yeah. My mom loves movies, but she never like wants to go to see new movies. So she likes to spend a lot of the time watching older stuff. Like I have Amazon Prime, so she uses Amazon Prime to watch TV shows and movies from like the 50s and 40s. And so that's like it's bizarre. She finds stuff that I have absolutely no idea about. And she's like, "Oh, I love this when I was a kid." I was like, "Okay." Yeah, it's some weird stuff that on Amazon. Like I don't know how they have a library to that kind of stuff. It's crazy.
I don't know either.
But yeah, like I like hanging out with people, but the movie theater, like I don't actually like going to the actual theater. That's the only thing. Spending time with friends and family bonding over media is fun, but
Yeah.
actually going there is not that fun.
I still think it's fun. Sometimes it can be encouraged because other people like that's just people sucking in general. You know, like people just suck. Everybody but you just sucks. Everybody but you and your close Nicola friends just suck. Um,
Yeah.
Funny enough, I need to take my sister to the movies more because last time we saw a movie together was Green Lantern. I dragged her to that movie, like literally dragged her.
Yeah. My sister, I don't know. I don't like I have absolutely no idea what kind of movies she's interested in. I don't know if she even watches movies anymore. She kind of just like watches a lot of old like cartoon stuff
Mm.
from our childhood.
Yeah.
She watches like Mona the Vampire still, which is odd. Yeah, I don't know. My dad's the only one that like sometimes watches stuff with me because like we have the Android box, so I just randomly put on a movie. I'm like, hey, Thor 3 is on here. Let's watch that. And he's like, okay. He just sits down next to me.
Nice.
Yeah.
But I think I think that'll about do it. I mean, not much more. I feel like we're spinning in circles a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out other things that we could talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The movies are a special place. I never want to see them go. Like, call me a dinosaur, but like, there's always still gonna be a magic of going to the movies. Like, maybe not for everything. Like maybe like Shape of Water. I don't mind watching that at home, but like, I don't like. I would have pissed myself if I missed Avengers on the big screen. Like, that's an experience.
Yeah, I feel like we're more. I don't know about you, but I can definitely speak for myself that I don't really go out and watch like artsy movies in theaters.
I did that once and it was a mistake because I fell asleep. I don't remember what it was, but I'm pretty sure I fell asleep and I figured, okay, no more.
The last artsy movie I saw in the theater was Another Earth.
Oh God.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking there.
There's a reason why those movies don't make a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I was just trying to impress someone on a date. So I was like,
Look
hey.
at me. I'm watching an Oscar nominee. That'll get me. That'll score some brownie points.
Yeah.
Hey, baby, you want to go see a movie tonight? It's us nominated for an Oscar. I'm pretty sure I've used that line at some point, though. Like when I was in college.
Yeah, I just go to movie theaters for the big dumb action stuff, and I'm happy.
That's what they're there for.
Yeah.
Like I will slap myself in the face if I miss Infinity War. That's something I like.
I already have 2 scheduled dates for Infinity War.
Nice, playa. Holla, holla, holla.
Well, I mean like just watching it with friends.
Oh, okay. You gave me a reason to go into Teddy Long, but okay. You know what? Here's a good way to like continue this conversation. What's your first memory of going to a movie theater? Like, how young were you?
Oh God.
Do you remember?
I have absolutely no idea. Apparently, I went to go see Toy Story 5 times in the movie theater, and I don't remember.
Wow, really? Okay, here's the fun part, and I don't know if this is true or not, but my dad tells me it's true, so it must be true. Jurassic Park. I was 3 years old.
Oh wow.
They brought me in there, and apparently my mom was worried I would be scared of the dinosaurs because like that movie could be terrifying.
It could be, yeah. I mean, there's a T-Rex that eats people, so
yeah. And like my older brother, who was 5 or 6 at the time, was like, "I'm not going to be scared." Apparently, cried and had to leave and everything because he got scared. Me, I was like having the time of my life.
You're not old enough to understand fear.
No, probably not. But also because at that when I was like around that same time frame before my grandfather passed away, he would show me old school Godzilla movies, and I wasn't scared then. So like it's probably like, "Ooh, giant dino Godzilla," but I was too stupid to talk. I mean, I'm technically still too stupid to talk at this point, but there it is. But yeah, but in terms of actually remembering it, when they released the original Star Wars, re-released the original Star Wars trilogy, in like in January, February, March, or something like that.
Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about that because I actually have a memory of that.
Yeah, because my dad, like, that was the first time like I knew movies were special to my dad. Star Wars is very special to him. So I at the time I didn't understand, but I remember his face of like, I got to show my sons Star Wars in a big theater. Like, mission accomplished as a father for him. And it was, and I remember like being vividly attached to those movies after that, like wanting to watch them over and over again, namely the lightsaber fights.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, like, it was a memory. Like, I know people bitch about like the changes and everything, but like,
Yeah,
that no, that's not good. But that putting them back in the theater, like, you don't see that anymore. You don't see them put old, at least like, because that was heavily promoted. Like, that was an event. Like, that was what, 70, that was 20 years after they had first came out. It's like, that was a huge event. At least it felt like it.
So yeah, okay, so I'll tell you what the first movie I saw, I have memories of seeing in theaters is, and it's We're Back. I don't know if you know that one or not.
Oh, the dinosaurs. I love that movie. I just watched it on Netflix.
I was like 3 years old, and so like, I remember watching it in a theater, so I must have, that's the first one I remember. But yeah, Star Wars, that's been a roller coaster of emotions, because I love those originals growing up, watched them with my dad all the time. And then my dad woke me up early on a weekend to go watch the first one. You know, I was like 9 years old at the time. I enjoyed myself. And we've seen every single Star Wars movie in the theater since then. But ever since Rogue One, we kind of came out of that going, that wasn't that good. Like, we're not, we kind of like started getting iffy about Star Wars. We're like, I don't know if we'll see the next ones with each other, and we haven't seen the latest one with each other yet. And I saw it with a friend of mine, and I enjoyed it at the time, but like, looking back, I'm like, man, that wasn't that great, and I don't ever want to see it again. So yeah, like, I think I'm kind of done on Star Wars, which is kind of sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that's the one big sad. I really wish I saw The Force Awakens with my dad. But I did see, like, I couldn't, you know, the schedule is like, it's the holidays, he's busy, I'm busy. I did get to see it with a friend of mine who, after Force Awakens, he's basically kind of become kind of her own little quasi nerd girl, which was awesome.
That's cool.
Like, she kind of, like, she's not like she'll still roll my eyes at stupid shit, but it's like, you know, she's more accepting of it, which was hilarious to me. Like, look at you. Like, so we didn't see Rogue One together, but we definitely saw, like, we made it a, like, when we knew Last Jedi was going to come out, like, we made it a deal, like, we're going to go see Last Jedi. Like, I bought tickets like a month in advance and everything. So, like, that was, like, you know, I'm glad I saw it with her and got to experience it with her. Like,
hey, man, there's some things in this universe that are weird. My friend that's like really into Star Wars now, he's a Star Wars fan because of the Clone Wars.
I could believe that.
It's fucking weird, man. Like, I guess it's because it's more comic book, like there's a lot more similarities between Clone Wars, like the stories told within that era, and comic books, because he reads all the comics too for Star Wars now. So, but like, people hate Clone Wars, and the second movie is the worst one of all of them, easily.
Oh my god, yeah, you know, you're right about that.
Yeah, but you know, like, it's weird what inspires you to become a fan of a franchise.
Yeah, I remember. I think that you want to talk about. I'll quickly say this: the worst time I had a movie at a movie theater was Matrix Reloaded.
Is that the second one?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I remember my dad, because I never saw Matrix in the theater, because I think my dad would have probably, because I was like 9 at the time. And
you must. Well, I don't know how old you are.
I would have freaked out. Like, I would have easily freaked the fuck out. There's some weird shit in that movie, man.
The CG fight. The CG fight's like the best thing in that movie.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of good. God, now I really want to rewatch the Matrix, because that first Matrix movie is just really fucking good.
I just recently rewatched it. Like, it was a thing that I would do like the past week or two. Was I would just put that movie on and fall asleep, because it's like it's such a good movie to just watch.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
I don't know what I.
And
Yeah.
and Matrix Reloaded, like my dad was in LA for E3 at the time. So he got to see it a week before, and like he was my dad. My dad is one of those people who like he's always positive for everything. He always loves everything, genuinely loves everything, and that's what I love about him. But I remember falling asleep during the 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 highway chase sequence, the freeway.
Yeah.
I fell asleep during that.
That's crazy because that's one of the best. Like that's the action scene of that movie.
Right, it just goes on for way too damn long, and just like, oh.
Also,
That
like
was
it doesn't help that it gets very like they get very philosophical and very heavy, and they think they're smarter than they are when they like throughout most of that movie.
Ergo, vis-a-vis. Do you ever see that skit? The
Is it an SNL thing? Because no.
No. I'll have to link it to you. But basically, it was an opening for the MTV Movie Awards. It's Justin Timberlake.
Yeah,
and
definitely never seen this. Cause...
Okay, you should, because it's there's a great parody sequence with the Matrix Reloaded where what's his name? Comedian. Oh God, what's his name?
Carrot Top.
Not Carrot Top. No, although he has. God, why am I blanking on his name right now?
I don't know.
Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell.
Okay. There you go.
Will Ferrell plays the architect, so like he just says ergo, vis-a-vis, like just convoluted shit, just because it's hilarious. I'll link it to you. Yeah.
You know, at the time when I was watching that movie, Reloaded, when he was talking about that girl, and like the things were happening with her.
Yeah.
And when, like I didn't understand any of that, and when I watched it later when I was older, I was like, oh. Orgasms.
Yeah. Yeah, I hated Matrix Reloaded so much that when like my dad offered to go see Matrix 3, I was like, no, I'm okay. Like I didn't want to even see Revolutions. Although Revolutions is nearly as bad. It's actually pretty good.
It's okay. I like the fight scene in the end. I don't know.
Oh, that's the best part of the movie.
It's like it doesn't make any sense, but whatever.
Who cares? It's like fuck it, just give me cool shit, and it gave us like an awesome epic battle theme.
Yeah.
But yeah, fuck the Matrix Reloaded, man. That game movie is awful. I don't care what anybody says. That movie is so bad. It's so bad it tarnished the original for me for the longest time. I didn't even want to watch the Matrix.
Yeah, that first one is still real good.
It's a modern classic.
And the Animatrix isn't half bad either.
I've never seen those.
It's kind of just like the prequel where they're trying to find Neo. And
that's what I hear. Yeah. Like I want to, like, cause I bought like the Blu-ray with just like the 3 movies, but I want to buy like the movies that has the Animatrix and all that other stuff in it. You know.
I like the animation. I don't think you can see animation like that anywhere. It's kind of unique. No, it's pretty unique.
Not anymore, at least.
Yeah. Like I think, from my memory, it's like a heavy metal kind of animation.
That's crazy.
But I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Right, but let's unplug and go back to the real world. That's what I think we had a nice discussion about movies and movie theaters and going to the movies and that kind of stuff. To quote Justin, plug your crap.
My crap is this crap. I'm still using that line.
My crap is your crap. This crap is my. I just feel like that's a very American song. I don't know if you would have ever heard of that.
I've heard of it.
Okay.
I feel like Deadpool or something like did a satirical version of it recently, but I don't know. Yeah, my crap is your crap. This podcast and everything on CharlieShot.com. Go there for your videos, podcasts, and written articles. You can also find me on Twitter at CSGThomas, and you can also email me thomas@CharlieShot.com.
All right, and you can find me at twitter.com/marvelousiggy concerning all things concerning the Marvelous One. Again, the first couple parts of the Sonic Mania Let's Play is officially out, so go check those out if you are so inclined to do so. And hey, as always,
Ben, sorry, yes. Do you want to talk a little bit more? Because I used to work at a movie theater. Shit.
Oh, okay, sure.
Maybe not. I don't know. Like maybe I'll just cut this out. But did you ever work at a movie theater?
No, I think I wanted to for a while, but it never happened.
I did, and I kind of pissed off management because I would like litter around the movie theater.
Wow.
I got to see the projection booth though, like the hallways with the projections. That was super cool to see because it's just a gigantic dark hallway that goes on forever, and I kind of wanted to work up there, but I worked concession, and movie theaters like to put you to work almost every day, so.
Yeah, I think I wanted to work at one just because like, free movies, but I never knew what that actually entailed.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. I feel sympathy for everyone that ever works in movie theater position.
Sympathy for anybody who works in service areas, regardless.
Okay, well, I don't know if I'll add this, but yeah, end the show.
All right, and as always, folks, stay charged. I remember this time.
Yay. Yeah.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah, I got yelled at by management. It was just like there's just like crap on my shoes, and it would just like get littered all over the floor, and they're like, "So, are you gonna clean that off?" I'm like, "No."
Wow.
It was my second job, so I didn't give a shit. I was just like, "This is just a job for weekends."
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I hope I did a good job.
Oh, you did a great job. You did a very great job. It was fun. Two.
I only have 1 more month, 2 more months till I go on vacation, man.
Nice.
Long 2 months, but
I've got I got 2 weeks and 2 days.
nice.
Yeah.
I mean, WrestleMania is the 8th, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to hear back from Jacob because I kind of want to have a guest on for this, and Jacob watches New Japan, so I can have someone to talk New Japan stuff with.
Right. I mean, I would watch it, so I have time.
I'm looking forward to Super Card of Honor because that's Cody versus Kenny.
That sounds
like
fun.
That's gonna be huge. It's gonna like dictate the future of Bullet Club.
That sounds like really fun. That could be a really good match.
Yeah, like they've been building it pretty well.
Did I post in the Chairshot server of Okada calling out The Rock subtly?
I don't know if you did, but I saw that on Twitter and it was crazy.
Yeah,
He was just at like Rock Bottom Cafe or something,
the
restaurant.
Yeah.
He points at the sign because you know WrestleMania. You point at the sign.
Exactly. Point to the WrestleMania sign. Oh man.
Jesus, imagine Okada versus The Rock. Holy crap.
That'd be pretty cool. Oh, you want to hear something funny?
Yeah, sure.
So I'm on a other Discord server where it's fighting game base.
Yeah.
And somebody messaged somebody from there. It's like, hey, are you going to NCR? It's a big tournament, another Street Fighter Premier tournament big tournament that's going on this weekend. And they're like, no, I'm going to Combo Breaker. Well, there's somebody named Iggy in the brackets with you. I'm like, oh shit, there is.
Nice.